Hearing close in the forest you'll find a fabulous banquet, a fairy ball. If you close your eyes and you open your mind, the veil disappears and you'll see it all.
Hi my angels, it's Hailey Reese, and it has officially been just a little bit over a week since I shared the final part of the old LA Zoo series with you guys. I kind of left it on a cliffhanger there and didn't really go into explaining what exactly happened, why we got so freaked out, why we cut out of the video so abruptly, and basically everything that went on following us having visited the old LA Zoo. Now, if this is the first video of this particular series that you are joining in on, I would recommend going and seeing the vlog style video of us visiting the old LA Zoo, which is extremely haunted, and then come back to this one because I'm going to kind of make sense of all of the empty puzzle pieces. But with that being said, you definitely don't have to, and let's just get into this because there have been so many questions from you guys and so many things just like overwhelming my mind as to what we truly experienced, what exactly happened, and how things are now. So to summarize the entire experience, I'll kind of start at the very beginning. I was actually the one who had made the decision that I thought we should go to the old LA Zoo, and obviously Loie is always on board to do those crazy fun things with me, and we just kind of decided that Andrew was going to come along for the comedic relief. And I was really eager to visit this zoo because I'd read so much about it prior, and just given the pictures that are provided online, it intrigued me to want to know more, to want to see if there was some sort of something paranormal going on and happening. Now, initially what really occurred that will forever stick out in my mind was that particular howl. I can swear over every single thing that I love and care about, we had nothing to do in the creation or the sound of that howl. Obviously we can't exactly say where it came from, whether it was paranormal, whether it was an animal, whether it was someone in the park. I can't speak on behalf of that because, like I said, we had nothing to do with it, but that really set the tone for me for the entire night, just being freaky. Now, here's where it gets insane. And it has a lot to do with you guys being incredible investigators and catching on to and noticing things that I might not see because I'm so not numb to the footage, but I've lived it, I've edited it, I've rewatched it. You know, I'm not looking at every fine detail because I had so much involvement in it. And this is the part that terrifies me, and that is that it appears that there is a man behind me while I am sitting on the rocks talking about what the zoo is all about, why it's haunted, people's experiences with the evil creatures, and yada yada yada. And the footage is absolutely alarming, and I'm going to insert it in this video. But before I get into that footage, I want to tell you guys and preface by saying why exactly that is so terrifying, and it leads into why the last video was ended so abruptly. So the footage is there, I will show you it in just a moment, but let's talk about this particular man. So something that I want to really say is I felt a male presence, and I can't really explain it other than just sensing it. And when I sensed this particular presence, it did not feel good. It actually felt very heavy. It was heavy on the chest, heavy on the mind, heavy on the emotions, but it also felt very dark. And while I was sitting on this particular rock, I sensed a male spirit or energy or entity behind me. So that is a big reason why it's terrifying that there appears to be a man in the footage. But when it comes back to what happened after is where it's even scarier that there is some sort of evidence, so to speak, of something being behind me. I can talk, I swear. So when we went and sat down to film the second portion of my video and we started to feel afraid, it wasn't necessarily because of the ghost app. It wasn't necessarily because we were spooking ourselves out. It was because a lot of things have been happening prior to us leaving the old LA Zoo. When we left the old LA Zoo, we got out of the Uber, we went to walk inside, and I just stopped abruptly and I said, we need to pray. Because I felt as though there was something very heavy still surrounding us. And that's when Andrew and Loie both said, oh, I was thinking the exact same thing. There is something dark and it's trying to follow us in. And we all felt that, and this was all off camera. So we said a prayer, We said in the name of light and love that whatever this is, it needs to stay where it came from. It is not welcome in this space, and it is not going to be entertained by us. I do believe that this was effective in a sorts, but I think at the same time, us having so much footage, us talking about it so much in the hours, you know, following us having been there, kept this energy around because we hadn't completely let go of it. And that is on us 100%. But when we got back into Loie's house, her condo, sorry, it just felt like something had still followed us. We would hear banging in the closets, things were disappearing and reappearing. There was like shadows in the corners. There was stomping, like crazy amounts of stomping around her apartment where it wouldn't even make sense for a human being to stomp like this. We started having nightmares, especially me and Loie. We thought that we heard Andrew walking around the apartment super early in the morning from the other bedroom. Turns out that Andrew was sound asleep, but what's even crazier is when we thought we heard him walking around, we heard whistling as well. And then Loie's roommate had come to move into her room, and when she left, her mirror fell off the wall and broke, and we all got really, really sick. So there was a whole lot of shenanigans going on, hence why we waited for the second part, and I mentioned in it that this was a couple days later or a day later, was because we needed time to try to get rid of this thing and let it settle before we sat down to talk about it. It became very apparent to us very quickly that not talking about it and waiting to talk about it wasn't going to change it, that we would have to just get out the second parts of our video, talk about it with you guys, share what we experienced, and then cleanse the space, because whatever it was still lingering. It wasn't as strong. I really do think the power of prayer and what we had done initially when we came in really not weakened it, but made it not as strong and not as there. But there was definitely leftover energy and some sort of something lingering inside of Loie's apartment, to the point, you guys, where her roommate got grabbed by hands when we were all sitting there. She had no idea what we'd been doing. She had no idea we went to the old LA Zoo, none of that. And she was physically touched by something that was nobody in the room. So when we started filming part 2 on my channel and we felt the energy, and Loie suggested we pull out her ghost app, which, by the way, speaking on the authenticity of that ghost app, I personally do not have the ghost app on my phone. I personally do not use it, but I will say that when Loie has pulled it out in certain situations where we've been in different paranormal or haunted locations, the things that it says really does appear and seem to be 100% accurate. I will speak on behalf of that. It's too coincidental to be a coincidence, if that makes sense. It's insane. When she pulled up the ghost app and we said something's here and the app replied he's, that terrified us, because I know it seemed dramatic in the moment, but because I had sensed a male behind me, which shows up in the footage that we're about to get into, but I had sensed a male behind me. We had sensed a male. We thought we communicated with a male, but on top of that, we had heard male footsteps and male whistling. So we knew that this wasn't just a fluke on an app. This was telling us that something was here, and it was him. Moving on, the app starts saying a bunch of very creepy things revolving around it, and Loie basically goes into a spiel of saying, you know, we're not gonna talk to you if this isn't on camera. We wanna hear what you have to say on camera, or we don't wanna talk, because it's kind of notorious, this app, for the minute the camera turns off. I know it sounds crazy to you guys. It sounds like, oh, of course it's that way. It really is notorious for talking and doing all these crazy things, or things move and stuff the minute that the camera's off. I mean, that's life. Ghosts know. And then it proceeded to say gone, meaning that it was giving us some sort of an attitude back, saying, well, then I'm gone. And that's what really freaked us out, not because of the words gone, but because we knew that it was toying with us. We knew that this wasn't just words on a screen. So now I'm going to get into the footage, which is what I'm sure you guys are most excited to see. And then I'm going to tell you guys kind of what happened following these particular videos that I just talked about. Oh, you guys, it's so creepy. Like, every time I see it, it really creeps me out. I'll insert the footage here as I talk about it, but basically in the space where I'm sitting on the rock, and I'm talking about that I sense something behind me, and I will insert that footage as well so you guys know that this isn't all made up after the fact. There appears to be in the darkness what looks to be a man behind me, to the point where Loie sent it to me in the group chat and said, Hailey, is that real? How can that be? So it all just kind of ties together in this string of there was some sort of evil or dark male that's become evident. Let's roll the clip. You see him, don't you? Because I feel him. Said that in 2009 he was chased by an unusually I don't know, you guys. I know that there is different effects where the human mind and the human brain sees shapes and humans and all of that jazz just because it wants to. I don't know, I'm so frazzled right now, I can't even speak properly, but I know that it could very well just be the mind playing tricks, but just the fact of everything. He's here, I sensed a male, we sensed a male, we heard a male, we experienced all of these crazy things. The fact that there appears to be what looks like a man behind me while I'm talking, and I even go ahead to say, do you see him, because I feel him, is just astonishing to me, and it is so wild and crazy and creepy. So I'm gonna be entirely real with you guys and not try to make up some sort of a happy ending. Loie and I said a very, very strong prayer. We were very assertive. We went around the apartment and it felt lighter. And we stopped talking about it and it felt better. But the knocking in the closet didn't really stop up until I left, and Loie left around the same time, so we don't really know. I left back to Toronto. Things were better, but they were still like banging in certain spaces. And you know, her roommate London had been grabbed by hands. You know, a lot of things were still happening, but it wasn't as heavy feeling in there, and it wasn't as scary moment to moment. It was just little things kept happening that it was like, is something still lingering? And that exact same day, just like maybe 7 or 8 hours after me, Loie went back to Georgia. And so that's kind of where we're at as far as not exactly knowing. I haven't asked Loie if her roommate's been experiencing anything. I will definitely say that what we experienced at the old LA Zoo was 100% the truth. Although it seemed dramatic in certain areas of the videos, I mean, our screaming when it said gone, I know that you guys didn't get that because maybe we hadn't demonstrated properly everything that we've been experiencing. So I hope this video makes it a little more clear as to what exactly was going on and why we reacted the way that we did and what went on after the fact. But we definitely contacted something dark at the old LA Zoo, and unfortunately I believe that some lingering energies from it, or it itself, followed us back to play some games. And yeah, you guys, I know there's a portion of people who probably sit there and say, how do these girls, or how do you experience so many paranormal things? And one thing I will say is I seek out haunted locations, I research haunted locations, I research paranormal things, I research ghosts, I talk about ghosts. It's bound to happen. I kind of bring it upon myself, and it's important for me to keep my energies and my vibrations high, and to remember that love and light will always overcome, let's fling my hair at me, will always overcome any sort of darkness. So, I mean, yes, it seems like a lot for me, but you have to understand I am attracting a lot of these things into my life. But I will say, when I went to the Ottawa jail hostel and there were dark things in there, I've never, ever brought anything back like that, ever. So that was a new experience. Well, you guys, that is kind of my little update on everything that happened after the fact. I mean, I summarized over it because if I sat here to tell you guys every little detail of things that occurred, we would be here all night. This would be like a movie. But I hope that it kind of cleared things up for you. What do you guys think of that footage that I shared in this video? Do you think it's the mind playing tricks on us, or does it look like a man to you guys too? Because it truly looked like a man to me. Well, you guys, that is it for today's video. Can I just say very quickly, thank you guys so much for 500,000. Thank you guys so much for loving and enjoying this series. I am putting together a giveaway for 5 of you. I'm figuring out what exactly is gonna go into it. I want it to be very personalized, so in the next video or 2, I'll be announcing the giveaway, and I'm just so excited to send some of you guys some things, some personal, spiritual things. And I just can't thank you guys enough for all of the love you've been showing, the support you've been showing, and for this incredible, incredible family that I am so thankful to have. The Reese's Pieces really, truly, and genuinely believe in the unbelievable, and I'm just so thankful for this family. So thank you guys so, so much. And that is it for today's video. If you guys are new to my channel, or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, I would love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. I post a ton of videos, so I don't want you to miss when I do upload. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it, because I say it all the time, but it makes my heart super, super happy. So please do that. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.